Hello and how you doing, and welcome back to Two Jagoffs. I am your host, Austin Carnes, joined here with
Lucas Kins.
And welcome back to Two Jagoffs, and welcome to This or That. This is the game show episode where Lucas and myself both have 10 scenarios each, and we got to determine whether or not we choose this or that. It's like our own Jagoff version of Would You Rather. Lucas, my man, how's everything going with you today? Thank you so much for coming on as always.
It's going pretty good. I got my voice back.
I know, it's about time.
It is about time. No, I'm excited for this one. I know I told you, obviously we don't know each other's stuff, but I did tell you I'm taking this a very different direction. So.
Absolutely.
So I have some ones on here that we haven't really brought up before.
Great. Now, this past Thursday, our man Kevin Homer was on the podcast. He joined us for STBC. Now we got this or that.
I'm kind of happy that guy's gone.
Why? What did he do wrong?
Nothing. I just like to mess with him.
That's true. But shout out to Kevin. Kevin was on the radio show recently. Also had an interview with him a couple weeks back. So this episode is actually pre-recorded. I do want to stress this before I start. This week is actually the week that I'm traveling to New York City. I'm going to be at the Today Show and NBC Studios. So this episode and STBC both were pre-recorded a week in advance. Just wanted to get some game show content out for you guys so we weren't missing any weeks. With that all being said, though, without wasting any more time, I think we should get into this or that.
We should.
We both took a different approach on this. So I'm going to give you the floor first. Set the tone for us early, Lucas. What is your first scenario?
All right, this is my first one. We got a Stanley Cup win or a Super Bowl win?
Oh. Okay, so obviously the Stanley Cup is a part of the NHL. Super Bowl is for the NFL. See, here's the thing. Either way, it's the richest prize in both sports. When you look at the Stanley Cup final, sure, it's a 7-game series. It comes down to the wire. It's the Eastern Conference winner versus the Western Conference champion. In the NFL, it's pretty much the same thing. It's one game, the championship game of all championship games. Super Bowl weekend is pretty much like a holiday in some people's eyes because of the parties, the commercials, the halftime shows. I'm going to say Super Bowl win here just because I believe the NFL is a little more popular than the NHL in those terms. But if you're putting yourself in the players or the coaches or the administration's shoes, it's pretty much equal because at the end of the day, it's whatever sport you're competing for. That's the grandest prize of them all. So being able to win a championship, whether it's a Stanley Cup or a Super Bowl, is the best thing that can happen to you in said sport. But if we're going based off of, I guess, popularity, I think the Super Bowl beats the Stanley Cup Finals by a mile. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the firm believers in the Stanley Cup playoffs and finals actually being better than the Super Bowl because NFL's one and done. You can see upsets. You can see blowouts. You don't see that in the Stanley Cup Finals. You don't see that in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We see some of the best action from some of the best athletes around the world. So I love watching the Stanley Cup Finals and the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm excited for it this year. But in this case scenario, I'm going to go Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here. I'm taking Super Bowl. If I was to put myself in the position of the players, I would choose the Stanley Cup because I think it shows a lot more. You have to put in a lot more effort to win the Stanley Cup. Sure. I mean, instead of one physical game, you're doing up to like 7 physical games. So I'd say it's a little bit more prestigious almost in that aspect. But I mean, the Super Bowl, a lot more people got their eyes on you. A lot more people going to hear your name. A lot more people watch it. And almost, it's like a holiday at this point for America, at least.
Pretty much.
Because, I mean, everyone's watching it and talking about it and reading up on it and analyzing the teams. So overall, I'm going to choose the Super Bowl.
All right. We're in agreement there. I'm going to give you a bit of an interesting one to start. Not only are we on the verge of the Stanley Cup Finals, and not only are we just coming off the Super Bowl last month, but the Showcase of the Immortals is next month. I'm talking WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year for the WWE, and we already have a WrestleMania main event made for the WWE Undisputed Championship. So my question to you is, Lucas, is who should walk out of WrestleMania as the WWE Champion? Cody Rhodes or John Cena?
Personally, I'm going to say John Cena.
Oh.
I want to see it. I really want him to get that 17th title. And I also think that Cody, I wouldn't say it's stale yet, but if he wins at WrestleMania, it's going to get stale. His run's going to get a little longer than people are going to want it to be. It's going to show signs of Roman Reigns towards the end of his where people were just sick of it and were hoping he would lose. Even though you like the character, you want to see someone else with the title. So I think John should win. I'm
in full agreement with you.
Sorry to cut you off. This is also his last WrestleMania. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, no denying it. This is his last WrestleMania. And especially because if you're going to turn John Cena, of all people, heel, you have to give him a championship win, because then that heel turn means absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah, this is the first time he's ever been heel, pretty much.
first time since '05. That's how long it's been. It's been 20 years.
Since he's been like the face of the business. This is the first time.
Yeah, exactly. 20 years since John Cena was a heel last. Because remember, he had the whole Dr. Thugonomics gimmick back in the Ruthless Aggression.
That was one of the best gimmicks of all time.
I love it.
I love him who just roast people left, right, and center.
It was hilarious. And then he got like into it with a couple of the girls backstage. I think it was Candice Michelle or Tori Wilson or whatever.
He would always get into it with Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie was another one, yeah. But no, I'm in agreement, because if you're going to turn John Cena heel, you got to give him the championship at WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, Cody Rhodes has been an amazing champion. I don't think we talk enough about how great Cody Rhodes is. Cody Rhodes is the face of the WWE right now. Even with The Rock and Randy Orton and John Cena all being a part of the business, they're not the face. It's Cody Rhodes. He's the one that's there week in and week out, cutting amazing promo after amazing promo. Just recently on SmackDown, he had an amazing segment with The Miz on Miz TV. Everything about Cody Rhodes just screams money, screams draw, screams apparel, and the American Nightmare. It's such a catchy name you can get behind. He's the one that dethroned the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania, for goodness sakes. He ended a 4-year-long reign, courtesy of Roman Reigns. I love Cody Rhodes to death, but if you're going to turn John Cena heel, you got to give him a championship. It's like when Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO. He won a championship. When Austin turned heel and joined Vince McMahon. When The Rock became heel. When Seth Rollins joined the Authority. Every time we saw a massive heel turn in the WWE, it led to a championship win. Because then at that point, again, the turn means absolutely nothing. So I'm in full agreement with you. Give me John Cena this year. But Cody, man, you gotta give him his flowers.
I didn't know you were a heel.
Pittsburgh's favorite Jagoff that doesn't give off heel energy?
I didn't know you won a championship either.
Huh?
I didn't know you won a championship.
Why are we talking about me?
You said Austin's a heel, and he won a championship.
Austin's a heel?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh my gosh. Did you really say that? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would turn heel.
You'd be a terrible champion.
Well, screw you.
You would, like, win the match, and then immediately, like, within 10 seconds, someone would cash in the Money in the Bank and just pin you.
Okay, thanks, Lucas. So what? I'm Alberto Del Rio. That's pretty much what you're saying. I'm Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to put you through this damn table if you keep it up.
What are you?
There.
You got the zoo? Ooh.
Give it to the next one.
Alright, well, this is one that's actually been brought up twice on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure both times it's been brought up, I've had a different answer. I don't know about you. I think you probably had the same answer, but we're going to bring back a classic here. Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
Oh, goodness. We're doing this debate again. Look, here's the thing with Cane's. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I love their Texas toast, but I think the sauce is overrated. The chicken is okay. The fries are nice when they're salted, but the last couple times I went there, it seemed like they weren't salted. They were slightly undercooked. Chick-fil-A, man, I mean, outside of the pricing and the line, it always slaps. It always is slapped. I mean, they have a variety of different sauces. They have a variety of different versions of their chicken and stuff. I'm still going to go Chick-fil-A here, but Cane's is nice every once in a while. I used to get it all the time, but the last couple times I went, I didn't exactly have the best experience. And I just feel like limited menu versus Chick-fil-A, I would rather pay the couple extra dollars to get something different than to settle for the same box combo that I would get normally at Raising Cane's. So I'm still going Chick-fil-A here. I have a feeling you're gonna disagree though.
I only actually brought this one up because I'm pretty sure the first time this was brought up I said Chick-fil-A, and then the second time I said Cane's.
Okay, so you're ending it all for once and for all.
I'm ending it for once and for all. I'm not bringing this back up. I'm sure it'll come back up knowing us though.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be the one that brings it back up in like 2 years or something like that. But I've been to both within the last 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say.
Okay.
Cane's was so much better, in my opinion. Cane's was a lot better. I mean, technically, I got different things. At one, I got a sandwich, and at one, I didn't, because at Chick-fil-A, I got a sandwich. The chicken just wasn't like I remember it. It wasn't as crispy as it usually is. And, I mean, the fries at Chick-fil-A are always banger. Like, their fries are easily better than Cane's, in my opinion.
Facts.
But going just based on the chicken, I like Cane's better. I think it has more crisp to it, more taste. I love the sauce, so I put everything in the sauce, even the fries. I'm going with Cane's still. And I love the Texas toast, too, so.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's been about a month, maybe 2, since I've had either one of them. I've been really kind of trying out different restaurants recently.
Now, my fries were actually really salty last time I went to Cane's.
Really?
Yeah, they were really well salted.
See, I want to go to Cane's again. Maybe we should go out for recording one of these days.
Definitely.
Because why not? But I don't know, man. Both of those are just kind of out of my way. Like, they're both closer to your place than they are mine. So there's really... And I'm in the city a lot more now.
No, if we get done early one day, like before like 8 or so, we'll go.
All right, bet. Deal. Deal. Let's do it.
Let's hope we actually keep this one. The last like 7 deals we've made, we haven't been able to keep after realizing post recording.
We eventually make our promises.
Yeah, well, that's more of an inside the ring thing. We made like 3 promises in one episode, and we broke all 3 of them. I'm pretty sure. One of them was WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
That's actually on a holiday. I think it's Easter.
Yeah, it is. Why?
Yeah, that's so dumb too. Like that's just awful planning by WWE. Like people aren't gonna watch because they're gonna be with family.
Exactly.
The other one
not
was...
me. I'm watching wrestling. WrestleMania first.
The other one was that I would be on at least once a month. We then skipped February.
We skipped February entirely.
I forgot the third one was, but I think we skipped that one too. So
yeah,
sad life.
Well, I think we should move over now.
Yeah,
I got a really good one for you. Not only is WrestleMania coming up next month, so is the NFL Draft. And the NFL Draft is returning, and I actually have a couple slots on here of players that I want to compare. And I feel like the best one to start off with is the 2 best quarterbacks going into the draft this year. So this is just in your opinion. You could take it however you want. My question to you is, Lucas, Shedeur Sanders of Colorado or Cam Ward of Miami? The 2 best quarterbacks coming into the draft this year. And you can take it however you want. I don't care how you take it.
I feel like Shedeur is gonna go first, but I think Cam Ward's actually the better quarterback.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like Sanders is kind of being carried by his name a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a good quarterback. He's easily top 2, top 1, top 3, whatever you want to put him at in this draft. I feel like he's probably going first, so if we're going off of who I think, then Sanders. But if we're going off of who I think's better, I'm actually going to lean towards Ward.
See, I'm going to slightly disagree with you because don't get me wrong, Shedeur Sanders is heavily carried by the name. I mean, the Sanders name is rich in itself because of his dad, Deion Sanders. Coach Prime time.
Yeah, like a Bronny in the NFL. Or NBA, sorry.
I don't know about that because Shedeur actually has talent. No, actually,
I'm just saying that names can highly carry you.
Oh, for sure. No disrespect to Bronny James. I wish Bronny
Much
James...
disrespect to LeBron.
Nothing but... You're gonna get Stephen A. Smith if LeBron hears this.
Oh,
you see what happened? LeBron confronted Stephen A. because Stephen A. made comments about him. It's his job. It's his job to make comments about it.
Yeah, it's my job too. So if LeBron comes at me, then maybe that's why you're not the greatest of all time.
It's MJ, by the way.
It is MJ.
But no, I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say Shedeur just because I believe Shedeur has the better arm than Cam Ward. Cam Ward makes some questionable throws at times. His deep ball accuracy really isn't the best. I would even say a Jackson Dart or a Jalen Milroe actually has a better arm than Cam Ward. Cam Ward, he's a little 50-50 because mainly he played in the ACC only for a year at Miami. Miami was a highly overrated program, and the last time we really seen him as a starter was back when he was at Washington State, and I'm not going to lie to you, I really wasn't impressed. The competition in the Pac-12 was relatively weak, and whenever he went head-to-head with Shedeur when they were both in the Pac-12, Shedeur completely dominated him, beat him in every statistical category possible. So I'm interested to see how they both play in the NFL. I just feel like Shedeur does have the slightly better upright than Cam Ward does going into the draft. But I get where you're coming from. Cam Ward is an incredible talent. I'm not going to take anything away from him.
If we're going off the combine, the only actual good quarterback is Jackson Dart in the draft.
That is true.
That was a really disappointing combine for quarterbacks.
It was.
I think me and you could go pass the ball a little bit better than they could, so.
Oh, well, I don't know about me. I'm more of a receiver, running back kind of
I either throw the nicest spiral ever seen on earth or the most out of whack wobbly ball that you've ever seen in your life. There's no consistency with me. That was a good one though. I like that one.
Okay, cool. We have another one like that later.
Do we? How many more? You said you have a couple. So is there more than one or just one more?
Just one more. One more college football.
All right. You ready for my next one?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
So back on Tuesday, I believe it was like the 10th or the 11th. We had a little trade that went on with 2 Jagoffs.
Oh, good goodness.
So, would you rather, or I guess this or that, would you rather have our star inside joke chicken flavored gummy bears, or the standout 6-time podcasting star Mr. Jack Dean?
Why do you purposely do this? Like, do you just wake up in your bed at South Fayette and just be like, I'm gonna piss off Austin today?
Yes.
Why?
Have you not learned that already from whenever I call you?
Whoa, time out. Chicken flavored gummy bears or Mr. Jack Dean?
It's actually star inside joke chicken flavored gummy bears or 6-time podcasting star Mr. Jack Dean.
6-time podcasting star is crazy. Well, if you
I have the trade right here.
You do have the trade. By the way, that was a really nice promo. It actually did really well.
Yeah, I was actually really proud of this promo too.
You put a lot of effort into that promo. I'll give you credit there.
I know. I had to get Jack to send me stuff. I had to do some research behind the scenes. I had to edited a bunch of stuff. It was interesting.
Well, if you want me to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Jack the first time he ever brought up chicken flavored gummy bears. It's foul. It's nasty. That sounds disgusting. So I'm going to choose.
But he is still a star. Hall of Fame.
He's a goat. One of the better inside jokes that we have here. But Mr. Jack Dean, I mean, he's something special, man. I mean, every time that we bring him on, the episode surprisingly does better than we expected. So I got to give him credit where credit is due. Give me my man, Mr. Jack Dean. He was the closest out of the four of us when we predicted the Super Bowl. Out of me, you...
That's actually really sad.
I know. Out of me, you, my dad, and Mr. Jack Dean, three of us watch sports consistently and keep up with the football on a weekly basis. Then there's Mr. Jack Dean, who wears a Sin Cara mask and does whatever he does over in South Fayette. And he comes on the podcast and has the best prediction.
Your dad made fun of him for like the next 10 minutes straight just for him to be closer than your dad was.
Yeah.
That's actually really depressing.
That is very depressing.
You know, I mean, you gotta take Mr. Jack Dean. But speaking of that, I do have like an off-topic question. So, you know, we've had a lot of inside jokes on the podcast, and I'd say that we used to consider episode 3 to be the best joke, pre-Jack era.
Okay.
And then we had Jack come on, and I feel like we considered chicken flavored gummy bears to be the best joke, but he brought a lot of jokes.
He did.
But then Lucas Carey's recently just became a very relevant inside joke. What is the greatest inside joke to Jagoffs history?
What is the greatest?
What are we considering the best inside joke ever?
I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking like NFL stuff, the man that I'm...
It's just everything in general.
The man that I'm thankful for is one that has to be taken into consideration. Just because of how stupid it is and how much I bring it up, I've gotten so many people to laugh off of it. So that's a good one right there. Lucas Carey's turned into its own episode. So that's pretty legendary and historic in itself. So we got to take that into consideration. I'm not going to lie. The Kellers, man, get me every time. Every time you give me Kellers, I feel like the hay bale yellow. That one got to be up there because the amount of back and forth arguments that we have had because of that and the amount of legendary clips we got out of it. What was it? 11 minutes?
Something like
in
that.
In the blind ranking
special? It was
special?
sad. It was...
11 minutes
so
out of the hour and a half we spent just talking about Kellers that I didn't even know existed. Like, I remember when I was younger, you know, like the little 164 box of crayons with the little pencil sharpener on the back?
Mm-hmm.
I thought mac and cheese was a weird Keller. I didn't think that was as weird as some of the Kellers that you would be giving me when we started this podcast.
Oh, Lord.
But no, I think Lucas Carey's is probably the best inside joke that we
Best inside joke of all time.
I think Lucas Carey's is. Just because it turned into its own episode. That's why. But episode 3, man, I mean, if you know, you know, but...
No, let's do the top 5 real quick.
Okay.
You want to start off or do you want me to start off?
Go ahead, you start off. This is your question.
1 and 2 is going to be the most difficult because it's, in my opinion, it's between Lucas Carey's and chicken flavored gummy bears.
I say Lucas Carey's.
Chicken flavored gummy bears is the joke that doesn't die.
Lucas Carey's 1, chicken flavored gummy bears 2, episode 3, because it makes sense.
You just giving yours at this point?
Huh?
You just going to give yours?
Yeah, I'm just giving mine.
All right.
Episode 3 at 3. I'd probably say Greg Dortch at 4 because I think that is pretty funny, and then the Kellers at 5. Those are my top 5. Honorable mention, though. Honestly, honorable mention probably... That's a tough one. Honorable mention goes out to CJ Stroud because the CJ Stroud debate that me and you had for the longest time, that was pretty good as well. My dad got in on it as well, and him and you actually won a bet over it. He bought you a Houston Texans t-shirt.
Yeah, he did.
He bought you a t-shirt.
So run through your list one more time real quick.
Number 1, Lucas Carey's. Number 2, chicken flavored gummy bears. Number 3, episode 3. Number 4, Greg Dortch. Number 5, Kellers. And then the honorable mention to the Texans / CJ Stroud. That's probably my top 5. That's a solid top 5.
My top 5 is going to be almost the same. I have Lucas Carey's at 1. I'm not biased, I swear.
Yeah, sure you are.
You gave it number 1 also. My number 2, I'm going to put chicken flavored gummy bears, honestly.
Time out. I got another one. When Kevin was on the podcast and you guys made me break on roads. That one has to be up there, too. That was such a good one. How did you guys make... See, going into it, because my man Kevin... I know
you asked us like 4 times to be so careful about not swearing.
Well, here's the thing. I love Kevin to death. That is my man right there. Me and him go way back. He's the number 1 guy. But when we're together, oh my goodness, the amount of inappropriate stuff that we say in person that can get us canceled on this podcast, it's out of this world. So I was so worried that he was going to slip up coming on the podcast, especially with you being here, because all 3 of us being together, 3 Jagoffs together, oh God, that's a recipe for disaster. But meanwhile, I'm the one to break over a brick road. Which, by the way, I still stand by that. Brick roads are awful to drive on. But
Your opinion is still bad.
oh, shut
And
up.
he might be your number 1 man, but I'm your number 1 bro. So.
Jagoff. Number 1 Jagoff. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I
No,
figured
you're
that's another honorable mention.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that really. But no, I got Luke. I got Lucas Carey's at number 1. Chicken Flake Garbage at number 2. Honestly, you could switch them around. I wouldn't blame you at all. Episode 3 at number 3. Just makes sense.
Makes sense.
Actually, I have Colors at number 4, just because I feel like we talk about it so much, and it still consistently comes up. Like, it seems like every 5 episodes or so, it keeps coming. So that's why I'm putting it above Greg Dortch, who's at number 5, because it's still great. It does still get brought up, just not nearly as much as we bring up Colors, and as many great moments in the amount of time that it takes to talk about our Colors.
I will say another one that's an honorable mention. Me naming the Seattle.
I just can't finish my list.
I'm sorry. Me naming the Seattle roster. That was
That
a
is
good one too throughout the NFL season.
Yeah, now it's an entire different team, pretty much.
What is
But then my
Sin-
honorable mention is going to go to Sin Cara.
Oh, I forgot about Sin Cara. That's another.
Because
good
even
one.
Jax incorporated it into his character development on this podcast
Yeah,
now.
he wears that damn mask. Sin Cara's a good one. Honestly, I'd put. What was my number 5?
The Colors.
Kellers? I'd actually take Kellers off for Sin Cara. I think Sin Cara.
Really?
is
So is
good.
Colors like your number 1 honorable mention?
Because you guys picked on me so badly about Sin Cara for so long.
So is Colors like your number 1 honorable mention then?
Number 1 honorable mention, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey Bale Yellow specifically, because that was the one that was like the one that blew up.
Whose turn is it? Where do we leave off at?
I don't know.
I've done 2.
I've done 2 as well, so it's
No, I've done 3. I've done 3.
You've done 3. Okay, so it's back to me then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like this is a pretty interesting one to talk about because we really haven't had the chance to talk too much NHL on the podcast because of how
There's been so much NFL.
because of how crazy the NFL has been. But I feel like the 2 best teams in the NHL is teams that nobody expected. So I'm gonna give you the best team in the Western Conference and the best team in the Eastern Conference. So Lucas, my next scenario for you is the Winnipeg Jets or the Washington Capitals. 2 teams that nobody expected to be as good as they are.
Obviously, we're not going off of who do I like because I hate them both. So are we going off like who do I think has the best chance of making a deep run?
Well,
pretty
however you
much?
want to go about this, who do you think is the ultimate best team? They're both pretty much identical in the standings.
I really want to say the Jets, but I'm gonna give it to the Capitals.
Okay.
I was gonna say I feel like they have to go against harder teams, but that's almost debatable, because I don't know. I think that I'm gonna give it to the Capitals based on the fact that they were straight poverty last season and no one thought they were gonna do anything this year. People kind of expected the Jets to be a decent team this year. I don't think they expected them to be number 1 in their conference, but definitely to be up there making a run for the playoffs. Capitals, people probably thought they were gonna be like the Penguins and be not even near the playoffs this year. So for that reason alone, I'm gonna give it to the Capitals.
Well, I'm going to start off by saying this. I believe Winnipeg is the best goaltending in the entire National Hockey League. I mean, Winnipeg's goalies has been top 3, top 4 in the goalie runnings every single year for probably the last 5 years from what I can remember. So I got to give the Jets credit where credit is due. But you look at this Washington Capitals team, Lucas. I mean, you talk about a team that last year they got rid of half of their team at the trade deadline, made it into the playoffs.
Something that we made fun of them for publicly on the podcast.
Absolutely. First round exits, by the way, getting swept by the Florida Panthers, who went on to win the Stanley Cup that year. And then going into the season, even with Alex Ovechkin going down with that injury, they won almost 29 straight games. And their team is relatively young. And then Ovechkin comes back, and they double their wins, and they double their scoring, and they double their efficiency. So Washington, to me, is easily the best team out of the 2. But I got to give the Jets goaltending and defense credit where credit is due because they're hungry. They're gritty on defense. And Winnipeg, at home in the playoffs, with their whiteout crowd that they usually do, once it comes playoff time, it's one of the toughest environments to play in all of hockey. We saw it last year in the first round against Dallas. It's going to be like that again this year, so you better watch out. You do not want to go to Winnipeg in a Game 7 scenario. So these other teams got to capitalize, and they got to capitalize early. Washington, though, they're my favorites right now for the Stanley Cup. Right now they are, which is crazy to say as a Pens fan.
And hard to say as a Pens fan.
It's very hard to say, but they're easily my favorite. Totally off topic, did you see that goal save by Ullmark from the Senators last week?
Is it the one where he jumped out?
Yeah, it's the one
Okay,
where
I did see it. I saw it today actually.
he snagged it with his glove.
I saw it today while I was on my phone in school whenever I shouldn't have been, but it's alright. Mr. Mansell, don't yell at me, please.
See, if I'm a Boston Bruins fan, I'm crying right now because out of Swayman and Ullmark, they get rid of Ullmark. He goes over to the Senators and becomes one of the best goalies in the West. It's crazy. I mean,
sadly, he's on a terrible team that's not going to do anything with him.
That is true. I mean, hey, he went there for the bag. I really can't blame him.
Yeah.
You really can't blame him. But
Do you see how defeated Bedard is starting to look?
yeah, I mean, I would too if I played in Chicago.
I mean, he's like, what, 20? Is he 19 still? Or
He's 20.
he's 20 years old, and he's the best on his team, carrying his team. He's been in the NFL. And, I keep wanting to go NFL because we've been talking about it so much. He's in the NHL and for like a couple years only, and he's one of the best in the entire league. He's on a terrible team.
Nothing makes me feel worse about myself than seeing an athlete in a major league sport that is younger than me. Do you know how sad that makes me feel? Because those guys are going out there
especially whenever they're one of the greatest in the entire league.
Well, here's the thing. I always cringe when I see somebody younger than me making triple, quadruple the amount that I'm ever going to make in my entire life. They're making millions of dollars. Millions.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So how does it make you feel that Connor Bedard is younger than you, one of the best in the league, and made all this money, and you are sitting here right now with my goofy self, and you've made like $3.80?
Well, first of all, screw you for that. And second of all, it makes me feel very sad about myself, knowing that
I hope it does.
But guess what? Here's the difference between me and Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard is one of the most talented hockey players in the world. I could barely roller skate. So I'm not surprised that he's out there making millions of dollars. I can't even roller skate.
Maybe we'll be there one day and he'll be begging us to come on the podcast.
You know how it's Sonic? They have like the waiters and waitresses that come out on roller skates and give you the food?
Did they stop that?
I don't think so.
I know they stopped it during COVID. I don't know if they brought it back though.
They did bring it back, but they don't do it as much. They have like certain hours for it. But if I even attempted to do that, Lucas, I'm telling you right now, your milkshake and french fries are going to be on your windshield. I'm going to trip and fall. I'm not even going to make it out the door. You know that one scene from... They'd
be lucky if it made it on their windshield. It's not making it out the restaurant.
You know that scene from Monsters University when they're doing the challenges? Like for like the college dorms? And they're on roller skates and the one monster, he completely slips and just completely eats it and falls down the stairs? Yeah, that would be me on roller skates. I'm that monster.
Oh, I'd love to see you on roller skates now.
No, it's bad. It's very bad. The only one in my family that can skate is my dad. That's it.
I would not expect your dad to be able to skate.
You want to know what's crazy? My dad used to play in a hockey league.
Really?
Like a couple years ago, right before COVID, actually. My dad is a great skater. You'd be surprised. He loves playing hockey.
I'd whoop him.
Can you skate?
No.
Exactly. Oh my God! Starting on a little charity hockey match. Me, you, Kevin, and Jack versus my dad and the three best people he can bring.
No, just your dad.
Just my dad?
Yeah.
Oh God, he's gonna whoop all three. Well, four.
I was gonna say none of us can skate, so you know we need that handicap.
We need a handicap.
4-on-1 handicap match.
Who's goalie?
Me.
Your goalie?
No, actually not me. Don't put me out. Put me on defense.
So what? Me, Kevin, or Jack? Who would be goalie in that case?
Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't think you or Jack would be a good goalie. Put Jack on offense. He has the best chance of any of us to get with the speed. If I'm already on defense, we don't need.
Let me be goalie. I'll be goalie.
You'll be goalie. So it's Kevin then.
I could barely skate. He can be on one of the wings.
Would we have 2 offensive men or 2 defensive men?
I would say 1 defensive man and 2 offensive men.
Alright, so him and Jack on offense, me on defense. Yeah, because I'm your bodyguard, so I would be on defense.
Yeah, you'd be on defense.
And you're the goalie.
I'm the goalie. I'll be your Tristan Jarry.
Yeah, we're winning that match then.
Hey, Jarry's been playing well recently.
Dude, I know. I'm telling you, I had a right to defend Jarry.
No, you did not. Tristan Jarry is still an awful goalie.
No, it's sad. I defended him so long until he got sent down. I finally turned on him, and now he's playing good. So if I just would have stuck with him the whole time, I would have looked so smart.
Not really. He got cut and went to the AHL.
He didn't get cut. He got put down.
Put down. What is he, a dog? Did he get put down?
Put down into a different league. Oh my God.
He got sent down. Give me your next one.
That's right. That's my turn. German Shepherd or Husky?
Ooh. So I'm a big dog lover, so I love both of them. German Shepherd, man. Huskies are... Listen, Huskies back talk you. I don't know if you know that or not.
I find it hilarious, though.
We have a Husky that comes in my work named Bolt, and I love Bolt. His owners are amazing. Rest in peace, actually, to the dad. The dad recently passed away.
R.I.P.
I feel awful, man. He was such a good guy as well. But Bolt, he still comes in every once in a while for daycare, and like this dog literally back talks you. Like I'll say, Bolt, come inside, and it'll be pouring down rain. And he'll be like, Arr! And I'll be like, excuse me, and he'll be like, Arr! I'm like, Bolt, get your ass inside. And he's like, Arr!
He's like, you heard me the first time. Arr!
And I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm looking at him through the window, and he's just sitting there protesting in the rain, like, no, I'm not coming in. You're not gonna tell me what to do. Trying to play fetch with them too. They won't give you the tennis ball back. They'll drop it in front of you.
Just start telling them to stay outside. They don't come inside.
No, he doesn't. He'll let the.
Nah, he'll be like, oh, okay.
let the rain come down and everything on them. But no, German
If I were to replace Husky with Golden Retriever, would that be harder or easier?
both of them shed a lot, so I don't know about the shedding.
I almost put a Golden Retriever, but I went with Husky because I like Huskies a little bit better.
I would have chose Golden Retriever in a heartbeat.
Really?
I love Golden Retrievers. I have a soft spot for them.
Wait, so are you going with German Shepherd or are you going with...
I'm going with German Shepherd. I believe they're easier to train. They're better house pets. They're better guard dogs. Huskies, man, they're loud. They make messes. They never want to come inside. You have to chase them around just to get them inside when it's freezing cold outside. But I love both dogs. Don't get me wrong. My cousin Joshua, you've met Joshua before. Shout out to Joshua. He has a German Shepherd named Athena. And she is such an angel. I love her so much. They train her really, really well. And it's funny because they actually trained her in German. So up at camp, if she's misbehaving, you'll just hear my Uncle Josh screaming, 9! 9, Athena! 9! I'm just looking over there like, what's going on over there? I was like, what is this?
My heart goes out to you.
Thank God we're not on camera. Pulling an Elon Musk over here. But no, German Shepherd, man, easily over Husky. Easily.
Yeah, I like German Shepherds. I mean, there's a reason they get used in situations all the time as, like, police dogs and search dogs, and they're just so smart. And they've been one of my favorite breeds since I was a kid. I love German Shepherds, so...
Absolutely. I got a good one for you next.
I have a couple good ones. I'm just saving them for more towards the end. I'm going with my simple, nice, out of the way,
simple ones?
until I make you want to throw your headset at my face.
Well, I think you're probably going to throw your headset at my face.
Oh, don't get me started. I have...
I'm going to break your heart with this next one. I'm so sorry. Let's talk IWC for a second.
You know, what can I give you next to piss you off?
Victor Benjamin or Andrew Palace?
Andrew Palace.
Whoa, really? That was quick?
Yeah.
Over my man Victor?
Yeah. Victor is harder to get behind than Andrew Palace.
Okay.
Andrew Palace is easier to cheer for.
Meanwhile, you hated him when we first went.
I mean, Victor beat up my mom's accountant, so...
He did beat him at... See,
not really my mom's accountant, just some guy with a million different button shirts. And
we gotta get Victor on the podcast.
Hey, we gotta talk about that episode with Kevin whenever he's here, because Kevin, oh my god, I just kept screaming stuff and he would just look at me.
I know.
I don't actually know if it was that event. It might have been was he there for that event?
No. Last event it was just you and Jack that went.
Yeah, that's right.
And you guys were heckling the entire time. We talked about that on Lucas Carries. You heckled Dean.
He wasn't there for the reload button?
No, he was there for Reloaded.
That's what I was talking about. Was he there for that? Yeah. I was gonna say, I think he was.
Yeah, no. It was...
Every time I would scream the most random things, he would just look at me.
You've been to 3 shows. You were at Cage Fury. That was the one that all 5 of us went to.
Mm-hmm. And that was chaotic.
It was. And then the first show in January, that was the one where it was the 3 of you guys that went and saw me because I was actually working the show.
That was Reloaded.
And
that was a great event.
It was, by the way. And then
the last event was kind of...
It was kind of mid, yeah.
Womp womp.
And that was the one that you kept calling Plumber Plum Nuts at.
I got the owner of IWC to screw up on a promo because I yelled at him.
Yeah, and then didn't you comment on Facebook and Jamie's manager responded?
Yeah, I commented on Facebook. I said, Plum Nuts, you spelled that wrong. I forget what it was. I think you misspelled living as like living. And I said, hey, Plum Nuts, you spelled that wrong. And Jamie Jameson's manager, Xander, that comes out to the ring, reacted to it with an angry face.
Shout out to Xander.
Xander was so mad at me the last event. I mean, go back to Lucas Carries if you want to hear about that.
Oh, for sure.
He was mad.
I'll be honest with you. I actually can't choose one out of these two. If I had to flip a coin, I'd just say Palace because I've known him longer, and me and Palace go way back. But
yeah, Palace follows you now.
He does. I was about to say that Andrew Palace and IWC's official Instagram account both follow me on IG now. It's crazy. I was like, why did IWC...
Hey, if you become a wrestler, you gotta convince them to get me and you to sign a waiver that allows me to put you through a table or something there.
Dude, I'll just let you do it. I mean, you know me. I'll go through a table easily.
I mean, I'll sign a waiver. We can have some fights before. You can bump me. I'll bump you. You know, we can have our... That'll be our retirement match.
That'll be our retirement
Me and you still need to have our retirement match.
We still need to have a tag team match against the wrestling buddies.
We kind of fell out towards the end of our careers. We were having some falling outs. We were always turning on each other. There was a time I wanted to go tag and you pulled your hand away.
I know. Sorry, man.
It
was the money that got
You're a Jagoff for that.
I'm Pittsburgh's favorite Jagoff.
I cashed in my money in the bank on you, though, so I guess it's all right.
Yeah, you did cash in your money, mate.
I actually hit you in the head with it and then cashed it in. And then I stole your belt. That was actually right after you won it. That's what I was talking about earlier.
It was a great match.
That was a great match.
I think it's your turn now.
I think it is my turn.
You want to go ahead?
Can you actually just put a picture of Matt Hardy on the screen real quick?
Good God. Well, there he is. There's Matt Hardy
on the
screen. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am happy actually.
You know I'm at Point Park right now editing 4 episodes, and I have to wait now until...
And you actually have to have these done like really quick. Like you really can't be wasting any time right now.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going to be in New York next week, so...
Yeah, and like you can't edit in New York. Like, they have to be done and ready to upload in New York. Like you don't have time to be sitting here listening about Matt Hardy.
Just go to the next one, damn it. We're still on Matt Hardy.
Oh, but that's Matt Hardy right there?
Yes, it's Matt...
Well, I mean, I was just a little bit curious. You know, I was just like confused. All right, like my bad, I guess. Jeez, picky over here.
What's your next
Matt Hardy's still on the screen.
I know Matt Hardy's still on the screen, Lucas.
All right, we got sunset or sunrise.
Oh, see, this is how you know that... this is how you know, respectfully, I'm kind of a fat ass. I immediately thought of Sunset Pizza back at home
Oh,
in
you
Carnegie.
fat.
I immediately thought of Sunset.
Queso.
I thought you were going to say Sunset or Slice, because those are like my 2 favorite pizza places down in Carnegie. Sunset or Sunrise? I mean, you gotta go Sunset, man. You gotta go Sunset. There's nothing better than just sitting up at camp or at the beach or even just at your house and just watching the sun go down, man. I mean, it's... If you're with a partner, it's nice and romantical. If you're hanging out with the homies, drinking a beer or whatever, it's nice. I mean, like, I've always been a fan of watching the sunset. I remember, funny story, last year when I went to Erie with my parents, we went on what was called a sunset cruise. It was this little boat ride on Lake Erie, and you actually got to watch the sun set over the lake, like, in the distance. And, dude, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Now, don't get me wrong, sunrise is nice, but most of the time that I'm up at sunrise, I'm at work, I'm miserable, I just would rather be in bed. So I never really get to see the sunrise unless I'm like really paying attention at work, begging the sun to come out so I can let the dogs outside. But sunset, man, I mean, that sunset cruise really made me fall in love with it. So I got to go sunsets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with sunset too, but I'm gonna be honest, dude. There is some nice sunrises I've got. I mean, I try to take pictures of, like, sunsets and sunrises now. I've been more into, like, taking the photos of it. I mean, the fans can't really see this, but, I mean, that was a pretty nice... This is actually a...
If you actually send me one of the pictures, I can use it as the sunset that's on the screen.
Well, this is a sunrise.
Sunrise?
Yeah, that's a sunrise.
That's nice.
That's at my school, and then this was a,
You want to know who takes those kind of pictures?
This was a sunset.
That's nice. You want to know who takes those kind of pictures? My sister.
Really?
Yeah, anytime we're in the car, like, she'll be like, oh my god, I gotta get that sunset. I gotta get that sunrise.
Yeah, I don't get it every time, but, like, I just do it sometimes. If it looks nice enough and depending on what the background looks like.
Remind me after recording to show you the pictures from Erie because, oh my goodness, the sunset on the lake, they're beautiful. They're beautiful, man. I got a couple more for you, so I want to move over to this next one. Back to college football. This is the second one that I had for you.
Okay.
Jackson Dart or Dylan Gabriel. 2 unique quarterbacks that have one hell of an arm.
Jackson Dart.
Really?
Yeah,
Dylan Gabriel's
I think,
projected to go higher, though.
I think Dart is more accurate, give or take, and has a more consistent arm.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel might have the better arm, but I don't think he's as consistent.
See, I said this on the Austin Carnes show. I said it on 2 Jagoffs before, and I'll say it again. Jackson Dart is like Matt Corral on steroids. That man's arm is incredible. He makes great reads, great check down throws. He knows how to move the chains, move the sticks, get the yards, get in the red zone. Dylan Gabriel has a bit of an issue when it's getting to the red zone. The game that really threw me off with him was the playoff matchup against Ohio State. Now, don't get me wrong. When Oregon beat Ohio State early on last year, Gabriel was the leader. He was the pioneer. He was the one that took them over the hump and got them that win. And that's why they were the number 1 ranked team in the nation for the rest of that season. But the second they got to the playoffs, they absolutely got ramrodded by the Buckeyes. And I don't necessarily know if that's going to translate to the NFL. I don't necessarily know that if he's going to be able to come in with as much confidence as he did when he was playing all year. Look, you got to remember, Dylan Gabriel transferred over from Oklahoma and then came over to Oregon to get a starting opportunity to try and get his draft stock increase. Jackson Dart was loyal to Ole Miss his entire career. He was always there, and he always put up great numbers. I think Jackson Dart is going to be a steal in the draft, which is why I think the Steelers need to go after him if he's going to be there in the 3rd round. Honestly, at this point with their QB situation, I wouldn't be mad at them taking him in the 2nd round if they can get a 2nd round pick back. So I got to go Jackson Dart here. I'm in agreement with you.
My next one for you. This is all about the scenery.
Scenery. Ooh.
Summertime waterfall or wintertime mountains?
Oh, that's a good one. Summertime waterfall or wintertime mountains. I'm going to go... that's a good one, Lucas. Summertime waterfall, man. There's a lot of beautiful waterfalls around here. I mean, Niagara Falls, man. Have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
I have been.
Niagara Falls is absolutely beautiful. I mean, even Ohio Powell's nice. Yeah, I gotta go summertime waterfalls, man. I mean, there's nothing better than just, like, hiking in the woods or, like, even hiking anywhere, and you just, like, come across, like, this beautiful waterfall. I mean, this isn't really big of a waterfall. It's, like, it's actually relatively weak compared to other ones, but over back at home by Settler's Cabin, they have what's called the Waterfall Trail. It's this little trail you walk on. It's a half mile down, half mile back, and they have, like, a little mini waterfall at the bottom. It's beautiful. So just I've always had a thing for hiking and looking at stuff. I actually plan on going on a big hiking trip this summer with my man Kevin, so I'm looking forward to that. But overall, I don't know. Winter mountains are nice and all. It's cool. Like maybe if you were over in like Colorado and like Utah and stuff, it would be nice to see. But I've never really personally been over there, so I'm gonna stick to my summertime waterfalls. I've seen a lot of beautiful ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that too. I mean, I love waterfalls. I've always loved waterfalls. I love them, and I've seen a couple in person. Not as many. I'd like to see more. Definitely. I mean, the only one I've really seen that's been like a nice one has been Niagara, pretty much. But I've seen them on like shows. I've seen them in movies. Seen them in games and stuff. I love waterfalls. I love everything about it. Winter mountains though are gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I'm a lean towards waterfall on this one.
All right, let's get hungry again. Let's talk about two restaurants we've never talked about here on the podcast before, or maybe we haven't. I just forgot. Five Guys or Subway?
You have to choose Five Guys. Come on now. Subway?
There's a reason why I'm giving you this.
If you choose Subway, we might have to throw hands.
No. I'm not. I'm agreeing with you with Five Guys.
Okay.
The reason why I chose this is because last week when I was at college, these were the two restaurants that were open in Market Square, and those were the two places that I went to for the first time in like years. And I wanted to get your opinion on it because I actually got into a pretty big debate with a couple people down at Point Park. And one of them was saying that Five Guys is a million times better. The other one was saying Subway is a million times better.
Subway's not a million times better.
It's not. Now, don't get me wrong. Subway's good.
I mean, Subway's good. I don't have a problem with it, but like, you cannot compare that to Five Guys. I mean, come on now.
Okay. So you're saying Five Guys. Okay.
I'm saying Five Guys. And I've probably been to Subway a lot more than Five Guys, but Five Guys is definitely better.
Dude, they give you so many fries.
I know. I mean, and they make them there, too. I mean, they have pallets of potatoes sitting out that you can literally touch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're saying right at the entrance, usually, too. I know, like, I'm pretty sure the one bridge, like, they have, like, you walk in the door, and it's just pallets of potato bags. Like, it's crazy. Oh, God.
I don't like that smirk.
Let's just say my last, what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of my last 4, I'll say I have, like, one normal one.
Okay.
And we're going to go with that one normal one first, of course. I got to say my 3 most interesting ones for last. To, actually, I think you'll like one of them. I think you'll like them when I give you after this one, but the last 2, sorry, buddy.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
For this one, one-shot wonder or edited masterpiece?
What do you mean? Like, podcast-wise? Or...
Yeah, like our promos and stuff.
Oh, like...
One-shot wonder or edited masterpiece?
I mean, like, what do you mean by that? Like, one-shot wonder is like we get it in one take and
we get it in one take. It's perfect. We like how it is. Like, we don't really want to change it. It works.
And then
it has, like, the personality aspect to it. It's not, like, as scripted, per se. Pretty much Lucas Carey's promo.
Okay.
Like, it was... The personality was there. We didn't exactly know how it was going to look.
And then an edited masterpiece.
Edited masterpiece, we'd say, like, some that, like, took more time. You had to, like, edit a couple things together. Kind of like our,
I'm going to say edited masterpiece because I would say quality over quantity, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter how many times you take it or really how many times you get it. Because an edited masterpiece could also be a one-take Timmy. Could also be a one-take wonder. A one-take wonder, like, yeah, cool, we got it done early. We finished up real quick. But the ones that we really take time to do, like, my favorite promo that you did recently was the one of the phone call. I remember you called me after I was leaving my Uncle Johnny's house from the Elimination Chamber, and you called me, and you were like, hey, man, like, what do you think of it? And I watched it, and I was laughing.
Yeah, but you pulled over to watch it.
I pulled over into a CVS parking lot just to watch it, because it was absolutely hilarious. It was one of
It was definitely worth it, because I think that's our most liked promo of all time.
It is.
On TikTok alone, it has, like, 187 likes with, like, close to 2K views.
Really? It's doing that well?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it literally blew up. On TikTok, I don't think we've ever gotten more than, like, I think one video got, like, 20 likes or something like that. Like, there's not much competition, but this one just blew out of the water.
It did pretty well on Instagram, too.
Yeah.
It did pretty well, so. Okay.
TikTok, I think our Instagram is more consistent, but TikTok is the place where our videos either get nothing or just blow up.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I know like the one with your edit that got over 2,000 views.
Yeah, it did.
But it didn't do good on like Wise though, which is like it's so random. Like we get a ton of views and no likes, or a decent amount of likes but not a ton of views. Like it's weird.
And we really don't get as many comments. I mean, we've been getting comments recently, actually, but
Yeah,
on
we are not
YouTube.
getting comments on TikTok or Instagram really. Which guys, we need them.
We need to ask Austin anything questions. That's coming up
do.
next week. Next week.
And even if we there's never too many because then we'll just use them in the next episode
Exactly.
of it. So even if it takes a while for your questions, we just need them. So please comment.
Please comment. Please send them in on.
I'm tired of having to write in the caption because this guy keeps bugging me. I just need you guys to start commenting so we don't have to worry about it anymore.
I will have one more wrestling one for you.
Do you?
It's the last wrestling
Is
one.
it gonna make me mad?
I don't think it's gonna make
Am I
you
gonna
mad.
throw this headset at your head?
Probably not. No. It's a pretty easy one. So we talked about the WWE Championship. Let's talk about the WWE Women's Championship now. Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair. It's a big WrestleMania matchup this year. The future versus the past.
I want Tiffany to win. I like her reign. Charlotte doesn't need it at all. But if they gave her the win, it's probably going to Charlotte. As much as I hate to say it, it's probably going back to Charlotte. She's going to return. She's going to win it. She's going to take over the WWE again on the women's side. She's going to put herself over even though she's already solidified herself as the greatest women's wrestler. And it makes no sense at all, but that's probably what they're going for.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I really don't like the build for this feud at all. I mean, I feel like that tag team match at the Chamber with Tiffy and Trish.
It seems forced.
It was very random. I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes sense because they were in Toronto. That's Trish's hometown. They're trying to do like one last send-off or whatever. And kind of like a homage kind of thing. Like passing the torch from Trish to Tiffy. But Charlotte Flair, like you said, she's already deemed herself as the greatest female wrestler of all time. She's absolutely incredible. 16-time champion. I mean, she's already broken the record. She shattered Trish's. So I think Flair is going to get the upper hand and win here at WrestleMania because it really wouldn't make sense for her to win the Royal Rumble if she wasn't going to go on the Mania and win the championship. But man, oh man, Tiffany Stratton, give her credit where credit is due. One of the fastest rising stars that I've ever seen.
Unless they make Tiffy the next Roman Reigns and just put him over everyone that wins and making no sense to give people wins anymore.
That is true, but they've been making Charlotte Flair bang up Tiffy's knee every week. Like, she's been attacking her from behind, so they're probably going to sell that knee injury for a while. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, this might be one of the worst Triple H moves so far.
Probably.
My next one for you. This one's actually goes out to my good friend Professor Carhinge.
Why? Why do you have to pick on me so much?
We're gonna talk about some historical people here.
Never mind.
Henry Ford or John Rockefeller? Who is more important to history?
Ooh. Well, I'm going to quiz you since I'm the professor.
Oh, God.
Now. How about you tell the viewers the two Jagoffs what both of them are famous for? What are they both known for?
Henry Ford for making the automotive line, assembly line, to speed up the manufacturing rate for cars. And John Rockefeller was the oil tycoonist. I'm pretty sure he also invested and built railroads. And didn't he invest in the U.S. to save them from going to a depression?
Something like that along those lines.
No,
Well,
so I passed my quiz.
You passed your quiz. I'll give you
Who needs this?
give
This
you a,
professor's useless.
Well, I mean, most college professors are kind of laid back. They really don't care. I'm going to say Ford because Ford also helped a lot out with the economy at the time, and he was a pretty big spokesperson. Kind of. So, like, the thing is, a lot of the billionaires and, like, richer people that we see in today's society, again, I don't want to get too political here on the podcast, but I'm going to use Elon Musk as an example. Whatever your opinion is on him, at the end of the day, the main reason why he's contributing so much with the current administration that we have is because A, he's a notable name, B, he has a lot of money, and C, his ideas 90% of the time aren't half bad. That's pretty much the way Henry Ford was whenever he was around. So his ideas and sociological impact that he had on society and the economy honestly trumps a lot of the stuff that Rockefeller did. Don't get me wrong, Rockefeller was an important historical figure. He was great. He was amazing. He was a leader. But Ford was very persuasive when he was meeting with leaders. And that kind of reminds me a lot of what Musk is doing. I'm not trying to compare Musk to Ford in that essence because Ford beats Musk out by a mile. But it's like that's the best example you can give of what's going on right now with the current administration to years past. So I'm going to give Ford the slight edge here. Both of them are kind of different in their own rights and respectful in their own rights, but they're both very crucial to American history. That's a side of history I don't touch on as much, but I'll tell you what, if I was a professor, those are two guys that will most certainly be brought up and be on my quiz for you as the student. So give me Ford by an inch.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably two of America's most important historical figures, not counting like presidents and stuff like that. It's close. I think I have always in the past leaned towards Rockefeller.
That's fair.
I mean, just like the railroads, the investing in the U.S. economy to save it, the oil, like, revolutionized a lot of stuff. But I could make the same arguments for Ford, honestly. He did a lot. It just depends how you look at it.
It depends on
I tend to lean towards Rockefeller, but I'm 50-50 pretty much. It just depends.
And the way the history books look at it, they don't give Rockefeller as much credit as they should. They should give him a lot more credit. Ford is a lot more notable in that aspect. That's kind of the direction I went. So, like, if you were to...
I mean, a lot of the stuff that Rockefeller did isn't as important today, but it was so important for hundreds of years.
It was game
It was like 200 years or so. Like, but the stuff that Ford did is still technically in use now. So that's why they give him always the edge, it seems like.
Of course. You do know I have to have a picture of Ford on the screen right now. Like, we went from talking all these different college football quarterbacks to wrestlers to athletes to Henry Ford.
And Rockefeller.
And Rockefeller.
Can I ask a genuine question?
Absolutely.
Do you think we're going to Sheets after this episode?
Oh, for sure we're going to Sheets after
Can you put a picture of Matt Hardy standing in the middle of a Sheets on the screen right now?
Did you really Photoshop a picture of Matt Hardy at Sheets? Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's a picture of Matt Hardy at Sheets right now.
I told you I was going to make you some custom photos of Matt Hardy.
Let me see that. Hold on. Yo, that's incredible. Matt Hardy in the middle of a Sheets. Look at that. That's crazy. Wow. I'm impressed. Okay, well, there it is. Matt Hardy at Sheets is up on the screen.
Don't worry. There will be more to come. There's some that I'm just waiting on usage. There's actually 3 I'm waiting to use still.
All right, let's go over to this next one. This is a big debate that's been going on recently here in Pittsburgh. Why is Pittsburgh so poverty? Head coach Mike Sullivan or head coach Mike Tomlin?
Sullivan, easy.
Who should be fired first?
Sullivan, easy.
Okay, Sully over Tomlin.
Sullivan can't even say he's getting us winning seasons. At least Tomlin can say he's doing something right. I mean, Tomlin is solid at drafting players usually. Solid at player relationships with himself. And always finds a way to keep us as a relevant team. Sullivan can't keep us relevant. I can't remember the last time Penguins drafted someone relevant. And he can't say he's even, like, keeping this team, like, on, like, a winning passion at all. So I think Sullivan is a guy, even though he's been here a lot less than Tomlin, technically does have the Stanley Cups, but that wasn't really his doing. He just kind of got here in a good situation.
We're going on a decade now of relevancy for Pittsburgh. A decade since the last time the Penguins were in the championship. It was 2016, 2017 were the last 2 years. It is 2025. In a year or two, it's going to be a decade since we were relevant. That's sad. That's sad coming from a Pittsburgh sports fan. And Tomlin, don't get me wrong, nearly 20 straight years of nothing but winning seasons. But the first round exits, the barely making the playoffs, the barely missing the playoffs, it's got to come to an end. I believe both of these coaches need out of their jobs in Pittsburgh, not because they're bad leaders, not because they're bad coaches, not because they don't know their respected sports, but for the simple fact that things are getting stale. I use the Andy Reid argument all the time, and I'm going to use it again for the both of them. Teams are starting to figure them out. The playbook is starting to get the same. The playbook is starting to get stale. You've got to eventually move on. But when you have a team in the Pittsburgh Penguins who has a Sidney Crosby, has an Evgeny Malkin, has a Chris Letang, and you miss the playoffs 2 years in a row, and the 3 years prior to that were all first-round exits against division rivals, one of them being the Rangers and the other being the Islanders twice in a row, I'm sorry. That is absolutely sad. I'm going to agree with you and say Mike Sullivan for the fact that I've been preaching for his job longer than I was Tomlin's. But don't get me wrong, I believe Tomlin should be on his way out the door very soon here too. Let's see what can happen this year with the whole new roster, with bringing in DK Metcalf, bringing back Rudolph, presumably drafting a guy as well. But for right now, I agree with you. Bye-bye, Mike Sullivan.
Well, I know this isn't a news episode or anything like that, but we have some breaking news.
Oh gosh, well, go ahead.
Cooper Kupp reaches agreement with the Seahawks.
Whoa!
As of 35 minutes ago from ESPN.
Okay. Well, this episode was recorded a week prior, so we're reporting this a week later. But
this will actually probably come out on a different episode quicker, but I just saw it now.
Cooper Kupp to the Seahawks.
I have no clue what the deal is. Hold on here. Play some Jeopardy music, post-production also. Actually, just put a picture of Jeopardy on the screen real quick.
Put a picture of Jeopardy on the screen? What, like the logo?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there it is. There's the Jeopardy. I'm not importing the Jeopardy music. Do you know how long I'm going to be at Point Park if I have to do all that?
Post-production, I'll see Nate one too.
What is the deal?
I have like the worst service of all time here. I only have one bar. It's loaded.
Okay, well...
It's a 3-year deal. I can say that much.
Okay, we'll come back to that later, but shout out to Cooper Kupp, man. That's a good move. Sam Darnold got a veteran guy.
3-year, $45 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks.
Hey, clap it up for the Seahawks, man. That is a great signing. Jackson Smith and Jigba, my man Jake Bobo, and Cooper Kupp. Yeah, and you guys were ripping on me saying the Seahawks weren't going to go anywhere in the playoffs. Kiss my ass. Like, they are going to go somewhere.
I wasn't as bad as your dad was.
My dad said 4 wins. 4!
I said like 7 to 8.
Yeah, me too. 8 to 9.
So I basically agreed with you. Why are you yelling at me?
Move on to the next one.
Alright, well, Post-production, Austin, if you just want to throw a picture of Matt Hardy on the screen real quick, because I don't think you can find pictures for these 2 next things I'm giving you.
Okay.
Sausage flavored toothpaste or pickle flavored toothpaste?
What the hell kind of question is that? What kind of weird fantasies do you have that goes on in your head?
It's better than old sausage and super soggy cereal and 3/4 of a potato chip and whatever the hell.
Repeat that monstrosity one more time, please.
Sausage flavored toothpaste or pickle flavored toothpaste?
First of all, ew. No. That. Could you imagine? Could you just imagine real quick you're at home watching TV and you see a Colgate commercial for pickle flavored toothpaste? That's disgusting, Lucas. Pickle flavored or sausage flavored? I hate pickles, man. I really do. Give me the sausage.
I'm thinking the sausage too.
I'm thinking the sausage one. Don't get me wrong. Pickles is nasty. Pause, by the way. But the sausage flavored toothpaste sounds... I'm least likely to throw up using sausage flavored toothpaste than I am pickle flavored toothpaste. That's disgusting. That is... Ew. Ew. Why? Why would you... How did you think of that? Is that a Jack Dean question? That's got to be a Mr. Jack Dean question.
I was thinking, because I was going to ask Jack, he was at work, and I'm like, what can I put here that Jack would say? And I thought of flavored toothpaste and sauce. I was actually going to do bacon at first, but I changed it to sausage. Because I thought bacon was better.
Bacon does actually. I mean, for toothpaste, that's nasty, but bacon, I do like bacon.
Yes, I put a sausage.
Sausage over pickle. Sausage over pickle.
I'm going to have to agree with you. And it's crazy that Matt Hardy's still on the screen.
Matt Hardy's still on the screen. Well, I only have 2 more for you, and this next one's actually kind of an interesting one. Would you say you're into stand-up comedy or magic? Which one do you prefer? Now, don't get me wrong. I have an interesting take on this.
Probably comedy, because I follow like 3 people on Instagram that do comedy.
Who? Any notable names?
Trevor Wallace as one.
Okay, I know Trevor Wallace.
The other guy's really popular, and I can't remember his name.
Is it Matt Rife?
It is Matt Rife.
Okay, I figured that's what everyone says your age.
And then there's like one more too that I can't think of, but all 3 of them are so funny to me. And I don't really watch any like magicians or anything, and I wouldn't pay to see you do magic, so.
Thanks, Lucas. Thank
I would. I mean, I basically paid $32.50 to come watch you film IWC.
You do. So you're saying comedy over magic?
I would say comedy over magic.
If you would have asked me this 3 years ago, I would have said magic because a lot of people don't know this, I actually do magic.
Actually, a lot of people do know this because you brought it up on the Kevin interview.
Did I bring it up on the Kevin interview? See, I didn't even listen to it back.
Yeah, you did, because you were talking about how like it got you out of like your
comfort zone. Yes, it did. Magic is one of the big reasons why.
See, I listen.
Good job. You listened to an episode. Congratulations.
I actually listened to every single episode ever posted all the way through.
That's crazy.
I bet you can't even say that.
I can't actually.
That's crazy.
Well, actually, I can because I listen to it before I upload it when I'm editing. So technically, I do.
You didn't always edit them.
But I didn't always edit them. So yeah, you've listened to every episode and I haven't. That's crazy.
I bet Kevin can't say that either. He's probably a fake fan.
So why are you taking shots at my man Kevin like that? Speaking of Kevin, I actually went to a comedy show with him for the first time recently.
I know you told me about that.
Yeah, you were bothering us, Dorn. He kept calling me over and over.
I didn't know you were at the comedy event. You didn't tell me.
But yeah, no, right now, stand-up comedy, man, I mean, there are so many good comedians out there. Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Chris
I forget
Rock.
who it is, but it's either Trevor or Matt. One of them is coming to Pittsburgh. So.
I know Matt is. Matt is definitely coming to Pittsburgh.
It's probably Matt then.
Matt Rife's coming to Pittsburgh.
I thought about checking the tickets, but I don't know.
They're too expensive.
Really?
It's a couple $100. PVG payments. Yeah, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. Matt Rife is great. There's a lot of great comedians out there, especially the local ones. But I'm going to say stand-up comedy for the simple fact it's like an escape, man, from reality. You just like sit back, listen to people make jokes about themselves, make jokes about the crowd. It's just a great time, man. I listen to comedy all the time. I used to... I actually got myself in trouble Shout out to Mr. G, my man, Mr. Javon, one of my favorite teacher of all time. I talk about him all the time here on the podcast.
Class clown over here.
Shut up. I was sitting in his class one day, and he used to let us actually wear headphones and like listen to music while we were doing our work at one point in time. And instead of listening to music one day, I decided to listen to Kevin Hart's Little Man special that he did recently. And I put the headphones on, and I'm listening to his special while I'm working. Dude, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm laughing in the middle of class while everyone's trying to do their work, and Mr. G comes over and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "Kevin Hart." And he just looked at me, and he's like, "Ah, that makes sense." And then he went back to his desk, because he didn't even question it. He knew that I was just up to something stupid, but no.
You're always doing something stupid.
Like you aren't. But stand-up comedy, man, I agree with you.
Oh, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just, like, love whenever I bring up super silly little things on this podcast?
Not really.
What?
It depends.
Good. Because I got some colors for you.
Oh my god. Here we go. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here.
Don't worry, it's only 2 colors because it's this or that.
Yeah, it's only 2.
First up, we got Smoky Topaz.
Smoky Topaz. What the hell is that?
This is actually a color in a lot of jewelry. I struggled to find this picture at first because I just kept seeing jewelry.
Okay, well, it's on the screen right now for the viewers. There's Smoky Topaz. What do you... Just show me the color.
The next one is Atomic Tangerine.
Atomic Tangerine. That's like... No... That's like a light orange.
No, it's Atomic Tangerine.
It's orange.
It's Atomic Tangerine.
It's Lucas. It's orange.
Atomic Tangerine, number FF9966.
So Atomic Tangerine and what topaz? Smoky Topaz?
Smoky Topaz.
I'm going to say Smoky Topaz just because of the name. I like that.
Atomic Tangerine is so much better.
Atomic Tangerine. They're both cool names.
I would actually wear this color if I had to. I would not wear the last color.
Well, the last color looks like something nice that like you could paint like your living room. Like I could see someone having a Smoky Topaz living room. I don't know if I could see someone having an Atomic.
I could see it maybe in their toilet in the bathroom.
Oh my god. You're brutal. No, I'm going to go Smoky Topaz.
Yeah, well,
I'm not really a big orange fan.
I completely disagree, but it's alright.
I'm not really a big orange guy.
We don't really care about your opinion as much anyways.
Are you ready for your last one?
Yeah.
Was that your last one?
That was my last one.
That was your last one. We're going to end off strong today. We're going to talk about the GOAT. The greatest of all time.
This is going to be the best mid-question ever.
Bill Belichick or Nick Saban? Oh, he said it was the most mid-question, and now I got you thinking.
I mean, it's hard to compare them because one's the best college and one's the best NFL, so...
2 of the best brilliant minds.
But you could argue that one of them was only good because of a quarterback that they had, so...
Exactly.
That's why I'm going to go with Nick Saban.
You're going to go with Nick Saban?
I'm going to go with Nick Saban because Nick Saban was constantly drafting new players and new talents. Bill Belichick's... The thing that people talk about the most is his rings and stuff, and he had Brady for all of them. And once Brady left, he's not even on a team anymore. So for that reason alone makes me question how good of a coach he actually is without the best quarterback of all time.
Well, not just that, Saban also would literally go to people's house, like players' houses, to scout them. And there's a viral video of him doing the Cupid shuffle with one random family at their house. That's the levels that he was willing to go to get the best players that he could find around the world. Bill Belichick is great and all. I'm excited to see him coach North Carolina this year. He's the brand new head coach.
Of course, he's teaching at UNC.
He's teaching at he's gonna be at with the Tar Heels, but. Nick Saban, man, I mean, you talk about a brilliant coaching mind. His NFL career wasn't exactly as great as other head coaches out there, but he completely changed the landscape at Alabama. He made Alabama one of the best dynasties of all time. I mean, they were the championship almost every single year, and that was because of Nick Saban. So I got to give it to him.
Yeah, the only other person I can call Unc is Professor Uncle Ted Kennedy Carhenge.
Why are you such a bully? You know that, right? You're a bully with a capital B. That's what you are.
Okay, let's be honest. If I wasn't a bully and just straight up came on here and was like, boring and melatonin, just agreed with you the whole time and had short conversations and didn't really add much to the topics at all, you'd probably replace me with someone and just kind of like slowly shuffle me out of the cycle.
You are such a Jagoff for that I fully agree. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this or that. Lucas, do you have any final words for the Jagoff Mafia? What a week.
It's been fun.
It has been a fun
Glad
week.
you brought me back.
Shots have been fired.
Check out the social medias. Please drop some Ask Austin Anything questions.
Yes, please. Please.
I'm tired of promoting it at this point. I have to put in the bio like pretty much for everything. Let us know if that Mr. Jack Dean trade was a valuable trade or not. Still trying to figure that out. We gotta see if our 6-time star podcasting professional over here can take us to the podcasting championship.
Not just that, we're back in the studio as well.
We are back in the studio. We
Shot-
had to do an episode at your house again. I did not like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, my nanny came down with a bit of a cold, but glad that she's doing okay. Glad we're back here at the studio. Love being able to have the space. Lucas, you're my man. Thank you so much for coming on. Another great episode of This or That. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for tuning into another week of Two Jagoffs. Stay tuned for this week. Ask Austin Anything returns. You don't want to miss it. One of my personal favorite episodes. Leave those questions down below. Until next time, here on Two Jagoffs, we will see you in the next one.
Peace.